What's going on, creative? So we know that Notebook LLM can create a podcast based on the information that we give it. And let's take a listen to, I'll move forward here and just play maybe 20 seconds of this podcast.
Even when you're at the top of your game,
Mm-hmm.
being stuck in your ways can really blind you to what's coming next.
It's like they were so busy counting all those late fees, they couldn't see what was right around the corner.
Exactly.
So it's not enough just to be good at what you do right now, this very second.
Right.
You have to be able to adapt to anticipate what's coming.
So that is the podcast. And this is based on a blog post that I wrote. And the blog post, if we come here to the first one. Okay, so this is the post that I wrote. However, I wanted to control it a little bit more. So what I did was I had some additional conversations with the LLM, and I took these responses. Let's go ahead and close this. I took these responses and I copied them and pasted here. So we have 3 different sources in which to create the podcast. And this is one of those ways where we can kind of control the podcast, what that content is, because if you just let it go, it's going to give you what it wants. But here's how we can control it. So essentially, I took this and I downloaded it. Now, it's one thing to create this podcast, but if you want something unique, how can you place either your voice or change the voices into it? Because we want it to make it unique, because if you don't, everyone is using these voices and it will get lost in the wash. What we're going to do now is download this podcast and we're going to get the transcript. I'm going to use Premiere Pro to do this. I'm in Premiere Pro and I just have a sequence. Doesn't really make a difference because we only want the audio. And I'm going to go ahead and import. Just right click, import, and import the podcast. And I'll move it over. It's going to automatically transcribe it. And we can go ahead and play it so you can see.
Remember Blockbuster? I swear, those late fees still pop up in my nightmares sometimes.
I think we all have a few of those lingering.
Okay, so we have the podcast and we want to change the speaker's name. Now you can see that right now I can't do it because it's saying to edit speaker names, make changes in the source transcript. And what that means is that if we go over to the source, there's no clip here. So all I have to do is double click, get the source here. And then when I go back to text, we have our ellipticals, and now we can go ahead and edit the speaker names. And I'm going to make it speaker 1 is Charlie. Speaker 2 is Jessica.
Oh.
Okay. So we have Charlie and Jessica. All we have to do now is export this transcript as a text file. And we're going to call it transcript. And I'll call it number 2. And we are done for now in Premiere. So the third step in the process is converting that transcript to a CSV file so we can put it into 11 Labs. Now I have this simple Python script here. We could put this in ChatGPT or Claude and have them do it, but I kind of like this method here. So I'm just going to run this code. And as you can see, I have my folder work, transcript 2, and we're going to save it as a CSV, transcript 2 as a CSV. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to type in Python. You do convert. I'm just going to CSV. Oh, I spelled it wrong here. So Python convert underscore CSV.py. Okay, So that is complete. And if we pull over here, we can see that we have our CSV file with the speaker and the line. Okay, so we've done the first three steps. We've created the podcast. We created the transcript. We got the transcript and we separated the voices. And now we have our CSV file to go to 11 Labs. Now, in 11 Labs, I've cloned my voice. So if I go to, let's say just voices here. And I have my personal. Here's James.
If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten.
Okay. And so I've cloned my voice, and now we're going to use that voice for the podcast. So let's go to Voice Studio, and we're going to create a new voiceover, and we're going to call this YouTube sequence. And we're going to create the studio. So we have the studio. So the only thing we have to do now is go ahead, come in here and import the script. And we can take our script that we have here. We can drag it in. And you can see that we have everything here. Now, right now, you can see we have Charlie and Jessica. I'm going to go ahead and delete this speaker here. So we only have these two speakers. And what we can do now is assign the voices. So for Charlie, I'm going to assign my name. My cloud voice, stability, similarity. We'll get a little more range. See if we can get a little bit more. All right. And then for the second voice, I am going to go with Jessica. All right. So we have all of that, and now all we have to do is come down here and say generate audio. Now we could go one at a time here and just click on generate the audio. And I said we can go ahead and generate that. And we can play.
Remember Blockbuster. I swear. Those late fees still pop up in my nightmares sometimes.
I think we all have a few of those lingering around.
Now you can see right away that my clone isn't that great. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to Liam. Come here, generate the audio. Now, one thing while this is doing this, you can see we have all of these gaps. And 11 Labs is not designed for editing audio. So I'm going to ignore the gaps, and I'll show you how we clean this up inside of Premiere Pro.
Remember Blockbuster? I swear. Those late fees still pop up in my nightmares sometimes.
So we would have to move this over like this, so that way
Will pop up in my nightmares sometimes.
I think we all have a few of those lingering around.
It does.
Okay. So now that we've done that, but you can, if we zoom out here, you see we have a lot of them. So we're not going to go individually and do this. We're just going to come over here and hit generate the audio. And it's going to do all of the audios. And so I'll go ahead and move forward and come back when all of this audio is generated. Okay, so we have all of the audio generated. And you can see a bunch of gaps where 16 minutes. I'm simply going to export this file as it is because, again, working in this environment is not great. So I just much rather just go over and to Premiere and edit. So we're going to as a WAV file, the original, and then we'll export. Okay, so we have that, and what we're going to do, we're going to save this file in the same folder. Okay. And now we can go back to Premiere Pro to do our final edits. So we're going to pull this file in Premiere Pro, and I'm going to start a new sequence. We'll drag that on. It will once again look at the transcript because I have it set to automatically generate the transcript upon adding the audio file to the clip. So let's go ahead and let that happen. And in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to have our speakers. We can highlight our speakers, and we're going to take this minimum pause length and we're going to take it down to, let's say, 0.5. So any length above 0.5 seconds, we're going to detect that. Okay, so we have our transcript, and what you can see here, again, we have the ellipse here, and this is our pauses. So you can see 7 seconds, 0.1 second, 7 seconds, 5 seconds. So all of these pauses. So what we're going to do here, we're going to filter this, and we're going to filter by pauses. And you can see we have 138 pauses. We're going to go ahead and delete, and we're going to say delete all. Now we've deleted all the pauses, and now you can see that our clip is back down to roughly 8 minutes, 59 seconds. So let's go take a listen.
Remember Blockbuster? I swear. Those late fees still pop up in my nightmares sometimes.
I think we all have a few of those lingering around.
But, you know, beyond the nostalgia, the whole Blockbuster saga, it's kind of a cautionary tale for all of us, right?
Absolutely. Especially in today's world, things are changing so fast.
Exactly. And I think that's probably why a lot of people are tuning in today. You know, because who wants to be the next Blockbuster? So we're really going to do a deep dive today on what led to their downfall.
Yeah. And more importantly, what we can learn from their mistakes.
So we can stay ahead of the curve, right?
Exactly.
So you can see that we have it. We have the podcast. We have different voices. We can clean this up if we wanted to. We can add some music behind it. We can do a lot of things with this from here. But what I wanted to show you was like how easy it is to take the Notebook LLM, the podcast from that, and create a unique set for you. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you guys how to do that, and see you in the next video.